In today's Leeds news, Gnonto on season and early season issues, update on Wolf, Bove unlikely, and Roberts will return to Burnley. Morning folks, Jer here, Wednesday morning the 22nd of May with your Leeds United news. Hope you're having a good week so far. We've a small few bits to get through. There really isn't a whole lot else going on newsworthy wise around Leeds, with all of the focus very much on the playoffs. So 5 days to go until the playoff final. There will be some additional content on the page over the course of the next 2 days, trying to get some opinions from different people around how they feel the weekend will go. Big game. Big day for everybody. The third draft of tickets go on sale today as well. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, best of luck. And if anyone knows anyone in the Camden Bar, if they can confirm they're playing the Leeds United game on Sunday, that would be great, because that's my planned destination for the match. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's get stuck in and start off with the news. And we'll start off around Willie Gnonto and some an interview that he has done with Leeds United Live around his early season issues, as well as the season on a whole, have come to light. Earlier this season, Willie Gnonto, as we now know, withdrew from a Leeds matchday squad heading to Birmingham and went on strike essentially for 3 weeks. Just before the Birmingham game, it's been confirmed that Gnonto's representatives emailed Leeds United chairman Parag Marathe a formal transfer request, along with emailing journalists, as it says, simultaneously, to try and force the move away. Gnonto withdrew from the Birmingham squad, was out of the squad for 3 weeks, and then had to reintegrate. And Daniel Farke had to be sure that Willie Gnonto was in the right headspace to be reintegrated into the Leeds side. 8 months after missing those 3 games, Gnonto has reflected on that situation and the season. Gnonto says that at the start of the season he thought about promotion and the playoff final and playing in Wembley, and all these things were in his head that he used to try and motivate him for the course of the season. At that time, he says his confidence was quite low and he wasn't feeling very motivated by what was to come. He said that Farke handled the situation very well, or as effectively as he could, given the situation around a young player and public criticism of a player refusing to play for the side. On Farke himself, Willie Gnonto has had the following to say: "It's really important for a player to feel like someone trusts you, and I feel like the coach has been like this with everyone. To be fair, he's quite fair." Gnonto went on himself to say that everyone has been given a chance in the squad this season, and he said he needed someone to just come up to him and tell him straight how things were with him and where he sat with the entire framing of his situation. He says that Daniel Farke, Liam, Cooper Stewart, Dallas, Glenn Kamara and Chris Somerville were all people that were involved in getting his head up and getting him refocused on the season ahead, and we're all name-checked as people who told the player to stay at Leeds, to see it out and not to walk away. He said that now he feels confident heading into the playoff final, when earlier this year he really didn't feel that way at all, and he is very grateful to his teammates for getting him there. Gnonto has 8 goals in 19 appearances for Leeds this season. The second half of the season he's been really, really good for Leeds and could be a massive player coming into the final. All this talk about bigger pitches in Wembley, as Dan Moylan and Square Ball has pointed out, it's the same size pitches, all the other pitches, because of regulation sizes now. But Gnonto could play a huge part in that game. Creative spark we very much needed coming into that game, and he has done very well this year, outside the odd game when the temperament may have got the better of him. But when he's been calm, when he's been focused, he's been very, very good for Leeds. So fingers crossed we can see the best of him on Sunday. Moving on to an update on yesterday's story and an update on Marius Wolf. Yesterday we heard reports coming out of Germany that Dortmund right back Marius Wolf was a target of Leeds United this summer. Now Dortmund sporting director has spoken and confirmed that Wolf will leave Dortmund at the end of this season on a free transfer. Leeds are expecting a busy summer with defensive reinforcements expected, the fullback situation now being more important with the news that Connor Roberts will head back to Burnley. More on that in a minute. And Daniel Farke has also confirmed the need for experience in the squad for next season, as well as additional height, something that Wolf would tick both those boxes in that situation, being 28 years of age and not being the smallest man in the world either. Dortmund sporting director has been speaking to outlet RN and has had the following to say on the situation: "We've informed Matteo and Marius that we will not be extending their contracts. Marius had different phases and made 5 international appearances as a BVB professional. He is also interested in the possibility of perhaps gaining new experiences abroad." He's played 31 times for Dortmund this season, so the question mark around why would a club who are in the Champions League final and have played a player 31 times not be in any mindset to tie him down to a new contract? Well, some apparent rumours have come out in Germany around this, and the situation is claimed that Dortmund do not feel that Wolf is earning his expensive £98,000 per week salary, and therefore the Germans have decided to allow the player to leave on a free transfer and move away. At 98k a week, he would want to have a consistent output if Leeds were to make a move from him, and Premier League football would need to be guaranteed from a Leeds perspective to afford £98,000 per week of a player, which is the kind of salaries they're going to need to paying players if they can get into the Premier Division. But for that amount of money, to Dortmund's point, he would want to be delivering every single week on the pitch. Wolf has been in and out of the Dortmund side this year, but it's still a very strong side who's had a very good season. But by all accounts, Dortmund's reasoning for letting Wolf leave is due to his output versus his high wage, and they are going to let him leave on a free transfer. But whether he comes to Leeds or not will all depend on promotion. Speaking about players who could have been heading to Leeds and may not be heading to Leeds now, and last week we shared reports that Eduardo Bove from Roma was a target of Leeds United, and according to reports now in Corriere dello Sport, any move by Leeds United to try and secure the player will be unsuccessful and are likely to fail, according to the outlet. Roma are not considering letting the player leave this summer and are not in need for desperate cash at this moment to reinvest into the squad right now. Bove himself last week was said by two outlets, Il Tempo and Roma Press, to be unhappy with his lack of game time in the second half of the season under the new look Daniel De Rossi Roma side. The player himself now, according to Corriere dello Sport, has no intentions of leaving Roma this summer, and himself is looking forward to playing under Daniel De Rossi's new style of play next season. We'll try and keep you updated on these transfer rumours as they come out. When they do come out from one source, I'll try and make sure we do a follow-up as well, that if it changes or if more information comes out, that it doesn't just leaves a link with this player and then just falls off the radar. I will try and get you updates when they're available. So that looks like it's off the table. Bobby's an exciting player. He's still very, very young, but there are other outlets that do still connect him with a move to Leeds and still say Leeds will make a move for him. But he won't be necessarily a cheap signing if they were to get him, and he would need to add more assists and goals to his locker if he's going to be that attacking inside winger number 10 position that Leeds are looking at. But I think he had 2 or 3 assists this year. Not a huge output, but a very young player, and is seen by a lot of people. Spalletti, the Italian manager, as one of them, has been a very exciting prospect for the future of Italian football. And then moving on to the final story today. Yesterday I said that it was likely that Connor Roberts would return to Burnley at the end of his loan with Leeds, and it's now been confirmed. Championship bound Burnley have confirmed that Connor Roberts will return to the club following the conclusion of his loan spell at Leeds United. Roberts hasn't had the amount of game time he would have liked when he came into Leeds since Christmas. A lot of that has been down to the fact that he's been picking up a couple of injuries which have kind of hampered any kind of momentum he has been gathering to get into this side. Burnley confirmed their retained list over the course of the weekend, and Roberts was in that list and has been confirmed as a player that is due to return to the club next season. Roberts is expected to still be in Leeds United's playoff final squad at the weekend, and it's a real shame for me to see him go back. I would have loved to have seen him get a real crack at the position if he hadn't got a couple of little injuries that he had. Maybe he would have made that position his own in the running, and I'm disappointed to also see what a pre-season with Leeds under Daniel Farke could have brought for him next season. I like Connor Roberts. I like an awful lot about what he does. He's a positive player. He goes forward. He brings the ball forward. He progresses the ball well. His passing is good. He's aggressive. Talks an awful lot, which is great to see as well. But just a lack of games. And obviously Burnley coming back into the Championship. They've got his contract. They want to keep him next season as well. So they will retain the player and he won't be with Leeds next season. Unless something spectacular happens between now and the end of the year. Daniel Farke has already said that he does like the player, would like him to stay. Roberts himself earlier on the season said he would like to stay. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think yourself. Do you think Leeds should make a move to try and keep Connor Roberts, or is someone like Marius Wolf a player Leeds should go after? Again, bearing in mind that comment around the contract situation and his output, which is interesting detail to add to yesterday's story. An exciting looking signing yesterday on paper, but then when you read the detail you go, well, there's a reason why Dortmund aren't renewing that contract. So anyway, I'll leave it there and waffling a bit. So I'll be back tomorrow morning for more Leeds news. Keep an eye out on the channel. There will be some live streams this week as well as some additional video content heading into Sunday's playoff final, and there will be a review with stats on Friday, so you can keep an eye out for that as well. Anyway, have a great day. I will talk to you tomorrow. See you then. Bye.